Sup, data lovers! So you know the deal. I'm not well producing this video just for the sake of being able to record more videos, okay? So let's go. So here's the deal. I have a payroll ERP that calculates our payroll, and I want to migrate all the employees from the first payroll software to the second one, okay? So I have all the data here, and I need to get this data and convert. My second database is not able to understand this type of texts because gender, for instance, is a number, not a letter. Race, the numbers are incorrectly. So one may be white and five might be black in this program, but in the second one, these codes are changing, okay? Document data type is also not a number, it is a text. I can do this in PowerQuery with no problem. I can simply get data from this data set. And I can add a column. I can make columns from examples. Okay, so here I can uncheck all the items and just check gender and click here my examples. I could make a custom function and then I could just say if this then that. Okay, I could create a from to table to convert one from two for each column, okay? And then I could have my columns that I needed. But this is a lot of work. I don't want to do this. I want to be, because I'm lazy, okay? As simple as that. I am the laziest person that I know. So what is my point here? I can make this migration just with two from two tables. Nothing else. Let's check it out. So the first thing that I have to do is get these two columns, okay? All my PK columns, right? All my primary key columns. And I want to use them to transpose this table, okay? So transform unpivot columns. I'm sorry, it's not that. Unpivot other columns. Unpivot other columns. And then I have a list of all the columns and all the fields, right? So I just want to, before I do that, just make sure that my dates are dates, not date time. Okay. So after I do that, I will get this attribute column and I will load this, get all these attributes column, and just create my first from two. From two. Let me just paste this value as text. And then I will remove duplicates. Data, remove duplicates. Okay. So this is my from field. And now I will just format him as a table. We'll give him a beautiful name from you. Right. And then I will create a column called action. So employee name, I will do nothing with this field. Okay. Gender is a from to field. Race from to. Document ID, none. Document type, it is a from to field. Country, from to field. State and city. Driver license, it is none. Just the number, just this number, I will use without do anything and put in my new data set. I will not change this value. Okay. State driver, so it's another from2. License type, it is from2. Contract type from2. Work schedule from2. This is a new field. The date is saved in the first database as a date, but in the second one is saved as just year, month, and day. Okay, so here we'll need to make a second type of action, a transform as a date dot text. Okay, so job role, salary is none, working time from2, marital status from2, education from2, birthday date to text. So here I have a problem. Okay, in my first data set I have two columns, physical disability and mental disability. But in my new data set, in my new ERP, my new software, I have just one field for these two types of characteristics of my employee, right? How can I do this? For this, I have a trick for you. Just before we transpose, we unpivot our table. So over here, I will simply combine these two columns. Okay. So merge columns, insert. Separator is just a, I don't know, semicolon. And now I will call okay. So now when I close and load, this table over here will not have those two attributes, and we'll have just this one. Okay, so no problem. I just will delete this row and classify this as a from2 field. Okay, so when I come here and get data from table range, I can simply merge queries attribute with from2 attribute. Okay. Action, and I will get here the action field. So here I have a thing that I always do with from2 tables. Before I can use them in another table, I always will remove columns duplicated. Okay, so this is for avoid some type of mistake by filling this table. Someone can come over here and classify again education as none. And by doing this, I will, in this table, in the from2 table, I will avoid this problem and remove duplicates. Education, the second one record, will be removed. Okay, I will not need this. The second from2 field, I want to fill itself for me. Okay, so I can just copy this information, pass for the HR department, and they will fill this column for me. Okay, because I don't know exactly what kind of code is in the first program and then from the second software. Okay, for these two types of software. So over here, I will rename this query as base. Okay, I will reference this. It is the from2 base, and I will just get attributes and value. I'm sorry. First, in action, I want to just keep the from2 action. And then I selected those two columns. I can remove the other columns, and I can again select the two columns, give a remove duplicates. Okay, so here I have just one example of all the types of gender, all the types of cities, and so on and so forth. Okay, job roles. Okay, I'm done here. So what I do next, I simply load this data, copy all this information, and pass for my HR department. They will be the one responsible for informing me what is the from value and what is the to value. Okay, so I see you when the HR department give me those code back. So I am back. The HR department just sent me this beautiful table. Okay, they are not so savvy as us, IT department, but so they need a little bit help of us explaining what these fields mean, what 32 means. So I need to go in the old system and show them what is the 32 city, and then from then on they just see what is the name of the city, see in the new system what is the code for that city, and then inform here. Okay, so this is what happened. Um, Little things that I want to show you. So remember that I say about the disabilities, okay? So in the first program, I have 0, 0. This means no mental and no physical disabilities. So in this other program, this just means 0, okay? Um, then I have the person that has only the physical disability, is the code 1 in the other system. I have the person that has both disabilities and the person that has only the mental disability. Okay, so this is why I joined those two fields before, because in this new system I have just one field for explaining, showing to the system what kind of disability this person has. Another thing that I want to show you is over here. Working time. In one system, this is saved in hours, and in the other system, this is saved by a code that is registered in another table. So here I have just a field that says that 1 equals to this value and 2 to 100. Okay. And another thing that I want to show you is that matrimonial status is just a field that is universal between all systems here in Brazil. Because the government has a huge table for these values, and all the systems need to use this kind of values. So here I have no difference between one and another. So I could, in the previous step, register him as none, but I am from IT. I don't have to know this kind of things, and I just put this on the from to table to HR, inform these values to me. Okay. So now I will just name this table from to values. I will get data from this value from this table. Then here in the base, I will use this table here to get those values, right? So to match those values. So merge query, I will merge. Before that, I need to create a new column here that is called from to. So here, from to values, I will create a new column. Name action is fixated as from to here. Now in the base, merge queries, attribute, action, and value. Attribute, action, and from. Okay. And then I will just get the to value. Since I did this step here in base, the from to base will have that column as well. So what can I do? What I can do is to here filter and not just from action, but the to value. So I want to filter the to that is equal to null. Why in the God's sake I want to do that? By doing this, if I have a new value, this table is now outdated. I need to remake this migration between systems, right? And could be that a new record was entered in the previous table. So by doing this, when that table will be updated, I will have a new from to base value to send to HR for them just to fill again with the new values. Let me show you what I mean. To simplify, I will not create a new table, right? I will just a new employee record. I will just get this employee, the last employee of this field, this table, and let me just, I don't know, create a new contract type. So I have 1 to 6. Now I have a 7 contract type. Here, I can just update this query, okay, from 2, and here will return to me the new attribute and value that I need to send for HR department, for then they fill up with this field. So I don't have to load this value, this connection only, and here I can copy this value, paste here, and inform that this new contract type in the new system is not 7, then 8. My HR department informed this to me, okay? Now, this is how everybody comes together. So let's do this. Now I need to first create a new column here with all calculated values, and then pivot again the table. So this is not, if I do this in the base, the from to base will not work again because this query needs to be unpivot, right? So we need to do is to create a new query. So let's create a reference, load data. This is the main query, okay? This is the most important one. And let's create a new column. This will be the definitive value, okay? So the value. Then what I can do is just use the action as a guide. So if action equals none, then I just use the value, nothing else. Else if the action is equal to from 2, then just use the 2 value. Else if action equals to date dot text, then date text value here monthly else error formula not Find, define. Right. Let's load this puppy. So the last thing that I need to do is just delete it. Just these 3 columns that I don't need more and don't need more. And we are ready to unpivot this. To pivot again, I'm sorry. So table dot pivot values. It is the removed columns reviewed is dot distinct attribute column is attribute and value column is the close brackets, and of course, what I didn't install something. So this is it. So I am very lazy. I don't know if I already say that to you, but what I can do to just make sure that all columns are in the same order as before is just come here to the base in a previous step before I unpivot. Okay, so I can reorder this, insert, reorder again, insert, and then I can copy this list. This is the order of my columns. Okay, so I can delete this step because I don't need this step here. I need this step here in loaded data. So I can just again change the order. Here will the program will return me this function, and I can just replace for this list of tables. Okay, so as you can see, the order in the pivot step was employee name, city, gender, and now is employee name, gender, race. That is the same order in the first table before I make all these changes. Okay, so let's just close and load it again. And I will just delete all the queries that I don't need to have loaded. So this base, for instance, I don't need here in the table. I like to order all the tables in the same order that I use. This random I can hide because it has nothing to do with the table. Let me see. So the first one was the employee name. Then I used the from-to attributes. Then I loaded all the data that is not completed. Then I loaded all the data here. And no, before I load it, I use my second from-to values to get to the last and more important table, that is the loaded data. Is the table that I will be using to load all the records into the new system. Okay. There is one last thing that I like to do in my from-to tables. Okay, every table that I have a from-to type of list, I like to use the following function. So let's think a little bit. If this from-to base query returns no lines at all, if these tables return no lines at all, I know that all the records has a from-to configuration, right? What can I do with this is to create a function here in loaded data that says the following. If table dot and count row count from to base is greater than 0, then I can just load it the from to table, right? Else I can load it the correct data file to make sure that our user will not simply load the from to base file direct in the incorrect file. I can create a new column here that just says error. Okay, and I can just reorder this. So let's again make a test, a quick test over here. If I delete this table and this record, we'll be missing one from to file. Let's just load this. As you can see, error. Okay, but I don't need this from to base anymore. I can delete this. Okay, because when I update, when I refresh this query, the value that he will be showing me here is all the errors, all the from to records that are not informed. If I inform here again, I can simply refresh and boom, I have my loaded data. I hope this helps you. Bye bye.